Remember, when it's in the present direct quote, it takes a step back to the past tense. If the verb tense is present continuous in the direct quote, it goes to past continuous. All right, and we looked at examples for both of those. Now we're on C. C. Someone read C. Turkey.
I have watched TV. She said she had watched TV.
Hey, guess what? It went from past to past perfect.
I think it's from past perfect to past perfect.
Yes. Listen, you can't go further back than past perfect. All right? So, Ali, read the next one. D.
D. I watched TV.
I'm sorry, read E.
I had watched TV. She said she had watched TV.
So, here it is, so you can see it. Okay? And then over here, she said she had watched TV. Now, for people that just showed up, so you're catching this. So, again, this is a direct quote, right? This is a woman speaking. I had watched TV. Okay? And it's past perfect right here in the direct quote. Now, I want to report that. Okay? So it would be like Turkey telling Abdurrahman what she told him yesterday. Right?
She said she had watched
If it's
TV.
past, it's only past, right?
Correct. If it's, well, listen, be careful.
If it is
If it's
past,
simple past in the direct quote, it goes backwards to
past
past perfect.
Can you give me an
If the quote, I will. If it's past perfect in the direct quote,
it goes to past
it just stays past perfect because you can't go back from past perfect. That's the last tense we have, okay? But it would be past perfect here. Are you okay?
Yeah.
And remember, this only works when the reporting verb is simple past, said. Okay?
Yeah.
Or some other simple past reporting verb that we looked at in the list. All right. And you want an example up here?
Yeah, please.
All right. What did you do in the past? Just anything.
Okay, I ate my breakfast.
I ate my breakfast.
He said he had eaten stuff.
All right. Now, tell Ali what he just said.
He said he had ate his breakfast.
He said he...
Had
Good. So it's past. It goes... He said he...
Had
Be careful, past perfect. He had...
eaten.
eaten his breakfast.
Okay? Now, give me a past perfect. Give me something you did in the past before something else in the past. So, in other words, give me a past perfect. Just anything in the past perfect.
I watched TV. Something in the past.
Yeah, about yourself. I had...
Done my homework.
So, good. So listen, this would work if we're having a direct conversation, right? And you're telling me directly about something you did in the past before something else in the past, right? That's a past perfect. Like, maybe I'm asking you if you completed your homework before Joe showed up at the party. And you say something like, yeah, I had finished my homework by the time Joe showed up. Okay? But just to make it simple, I had finished my homework. Okay? So then I want to report, what he said about the party and Joe showing up. So I would say, I would say he said he had finished his homework by the time Joe showed up. See how that works?
Yeah.
And with this, of course, it just stays the same. So that's the way it works.
What about number?
Let's keep going. Okay? Let's look at other verb tense possibilities. Let's look at F.
I will watch TV.
Go ahead, Turkey, read it.
I will watch TV.
Okay.
She said she would watch TV.
Good.
It's the same thing, but will make it fast.
Fast, yeah.
Excellent.
Would.
So, with a future, okay, over here, give me any future. I will
I will eat my lunch.
eat my lunch. Okay?
He said he would eat
Good.
lunch.
He said
He would
he would.
eat his lunch.
And this, of course, is a modal.
Yeah.
What always comes after a modal? What
Basic
form?
form, basic form.
Base form.
Base form.
Alright, you guys with me?
Yeah.
So the trick to this is to make sure you switch the pronouns to the correct pronoun to report it, okay? And also, look at this real quick and say, oh, okay, it's a past tense reporting verb, so I just need to take a step back. It's in the future. The only way to go back from the future is to turn this into a past modal, which is would.
What? Yeah.
So I go would eat. Is everybody okay? Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's look at the next one. Of course, there's more than one way to make something future, right?
Yeah.
So, let's see, let's have Abdurrahman read G.
Gee, I'm gonna watch TV.
So he just uses the be going to, right, for the
Yeah.
future. I'm going to watch TV. How would I report it?
And he said he was going to watch TV.
So listen, the be verb is actually, am going to is a simple present, right? Be verb. So you just go to the,
Past.
just use the past form of the be verb.
Like
And you've
was.
done
Yeah.
it. Yeah, just use was. If it's he, she, or it, I use was. If it's they, we, you,
Where?
were.
Work. Yeah.
You okay? All
Yeah,
right.
so just remove the verb be from am to was
Correct.
or was. Yeah.
So the whole point here is really it's the same. Okay,
Yeah,
it's just a present form of the be going to turns into a past be going to in the reported speech. Is everybody okay? All right, let's go to H. Same thing happens here as it does with will, because can is a modal. Hamoud, read H.
I can watch TV. He said he could watch TV.
Good. And this is like the ability to do something, right?
Yeah.
I can watch TV.
He
It's
said,
the same thing.
It's the same thing. He said
He could.
He could watch TV.
he could watch
TV.
TV. Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's read the next one. Mana, read I.
I may watch TV. She said she might watch TV.
Good. So may goes to might. Again, same thing. It's a past modal. Okay. All right. J. Let's see. Let's have read J.
I must watch TV. He said he had to watch TV.
Why he
He
changed
had
it?
to watch TV.
It's because must is a weird little modal. Okay.
That is
It's actually a present. Okay. I must watch TV. It's in the present format, right?
Yeah.
So the only way to say the same thing in the past,
She had.
she
had to watch, had to,
had
had to.
just like
Yeah. So it's really doing the same thing. A must is like a present modal, and to make it past, we use had to.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I mean, right up here, you just say must goes to had to.
So there's no reason
Plus
why.
the base form, right? Had to, and then put the base form watch.
So teacher, there's
Must
no
or have
reason
to,
why
you say?
we used has, like in must.
Right. So if I
So just get
so
it
just
on.
say something using must, like it was a requirement, or you were like you needed to do it.
I must play video games.
I must play video games. And then okay, report what he just said to Hamoud.
What's this?
He said he had to play video games.
See that? So you're telling him what he just said. He said he had to play video games. Really? All right. Look at have to.
Same thing.
The same, yeah.
But
So
be careful. It is. It's like a must, but this time they actually use have, right? So he could say I must play video games, or he could say I have to play video games. It means the same thing. But then, of course, it just changes the same way. Just use had to in the reported speech. Are you okay?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Now, be careful. We already learned this, I think. It says in L, okay, should, ought to, and might do not change. So this is new information. I would circle that. If somebody says something like, with any of those, directly, so meow, create a should statement about anybody. I should.
I should watch TV. She said she should watch TV.
Yeah. So that's the example, right?
I ought to watch TV. She said she ought to watch TV. I
So-
might watch TV. She said she might watch TV.
So teacher, in should, ought, might, they don't change.
Okay. So up here, it would just be should, right? Might. Ought to. Nothing changes. Are you okay? All right. There's a lot of information here. Now we're going to talk about what happens in the next section in M and N. All right. It says something weird happens if I report something close to the actual event, right? So, let's just look at the example. So this is called immediate reporting. And Abdurrahman, will you read that first example?
Okay. What did the teacher just say? I didn't hear him. He said he wants us to read chapter 6.
Good. So listen, notice the verb tenses. They create a situation where a teacher just gave instructions, right? And then someone in the class says, I didn't hear the teacher. So then the buddy says, he said he wants us to read chapter 6. Now notice, what tense is the verb there?
Present.
Present.
So
Because it's like...
it's like
Yeah.
right at the same time
Yeah.
almost. So in other words, don't change the verb tense, okay? If it's immediately following what someone just said, then it just stays in the simple present. It doesn't take a step back. Does that make sense? Look at N. Go ahead, Abdurrahman, read N.
Later reporting. I didn't go to class yesterday. Did Mr. Jones give any assignment? Yes. He said he wants us to read chapter 6.
So, although this isn't like right after,
No,
it's not, right?
It's been a day.
It's been a day. So what would the teacher have said that day? He would have said, I want you, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's just make it easy. He would have just said directly, read chapter, right? It's kind of a command in a way. Read chapter 6 for homework. Okay? So if I want to report that, I would say he said he
Once.
I want you to read. That's what it would have translated directly. I want you to read. Right? I want you to read chapter 6 for homework. Now, if I tell you what he said yesterday, he said he wanted us to read chapter 6.
Does not follow.
Yeah, it's not immediate. It's like a day later, so it acts normal. Check it out. It says in the rule, changing verbs to past forms, and I'm reading right here, right across, and reported speech is common in both speaking and writing. However, sometimes in spoken English, no change is made in the noun clause verb. When they say the noun clause, they mean he said, literally that's a noun clause, he said what? That, blah, 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 right? So the reported speech is a noun clause. No change is made in the noun clause verb, especially if the speaker is reporting something immediately or soon after it was said. All right. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at O. O says, now this is another exception to the rule. Okay? Let's look at the rule first. Will you read the rule? Also sometimes.
Also, sometimes the present tense is retained, even in formal English when the reported sentence deals with a general truth. It's an O.
Yeah, read O.
The word is wrong. She said the word is wrong.
So listen.
It's a fact.
It's a
Yeah.
fact. Whenever you state something that's just a fact, everybody knows it's true, like the world is round, right? Just leave it in the present tense, in both the quote and in the reported speech. Don't change the verb tense. You okay? So we just learned two situations where the verb tense stays the same in the quoted or direct speech to reported. What are the two situations? The first one,
Immediate
it
report.
happens immediately after,
It
stays the same.
stays the same, and
Or-
it is the
Late.
no. If it is, I mean something's fact.
Fact,
If it's a
Something-
fact,
yeah.
like the world is round. He said the world is round. Okay? Then it stays the same. All right, let's look at P, Q, and R. Now this is interesting.
Yeah.
In P, Q, and R, the whole trick is the reporting verb. Remember we said the reporting verb is he said, right? This verb right here. Notice up till now we've been talking about the reporting verb being in the simple past. Notice in P, Q, and R, look at P. What does it say?
Okay, what is the
I
difference
watch
between P
I watch
and
TV
A?
every day.
Alright, so you've got the quote, okay,
Present.
over here. I watch TV every day. Now, in the reported speech, look at the reporting verb. She,
Says.
Say.
this is the trick. And you always got to look at the reporting verb. Okay? What tense is this?
Present.
It's present tense. So when it's present tense, look what happens. She says she
Watch.
Watch.
watches TV every day. She says she
Why
watches. What tense is this?
the present? Why
Did
would
it change?
No.
No.
It didn't
Why?
change, did it?
Why? Why is that? Why?
This is why right here. If the reporting verb is in simple present, then this stays the same.
When I say says and when I say said,
You decide.
So it depends on me. So
Depends on me.
Yeah.
so I can choose either one of them. Like,
You can, you just got to be careful with the verb tense then right here.
So I can say she says she watches TV every day, and they can say she said she watched TV every day.
She does. The only thing that it changes is the time of this changes the time, right?
Yeah.
She said is
Pass.
past, so it's something you're reporting from the past. She says it's still probably something she said in the past, but it's immediate. You're trying to make it immediate, like it's kind of a truth statement about what she says.
So
There really isn't a big difference, but as you look at the next one, I watch TV every day.
she has.
So listen, I'm reporting to you what she said, and I'm using the verb tense to change the timing of the reporting of what she said. Okay, so look at Q. I watch TV every day. That's the same. Again, I watch TV every day, simple present. She has said. What tense is that?
said.
She has said.
Present perfect. Present verb.
Yeah. She has
Said that.
said. That's a present perfect reporting verb. Not just a simple past. She has said. That means at some point in the past, right, up to this conversation, she's mentioned this thing.
Yeah.
Now this affects the verb tense. Look at it. She has said that she,
Watches TV every
it
day.
stays in the simple present. She has said that she watches TV every day, okay? So we also notice when the reporting verb is present perfect, then it stays the same as the quoted speech, okay?
So teacher, in a quiz, are you gonna do like this, like?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to try to trick you.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to try to trick you. That's what good teachers do, right?
Yeah.
You need to make sure you know all the rules.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
Now look at R. And by the way, they're going to try to do this on the exam.
The
You
final
think they're
exam?
just going to stick the simple past reporting verb in there for you all the time?
No.
No, they're going to throw in one of these weirdos and then ask you to pick a verb in the right tense, right? They're going to do it for sure. All right. So look at R. Iyad, read R.
I watch TV every day.
Simple present, direct speak, quote. Now, what on the other side?
She will say that she watches TV every day.
She'll say.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
tense
sure.
will say?
Will say.
Future.
Future.
That's future. Yeah, so listen, think of a situation that maybe you're like a news reporter, right? And they're trying to figure out what this person is going to say in the future.
Ah, so they can say.
Yeah, so I can use a future reporting verb to report what I think someone will say in the future.
So it's not in the past.
No. The reporting verb, listen, that's the whole point. In P, the reporting verb is says. What tense?
Present.
It's present. So the verb in the noun clause is present. It stayed the same. It didn't take a step back. She has said
Present perfect.
present perfect. Again, the verb is watches. Same tense as a direct quote. You can even make it future. She will say, what tense is the verb? It's in the simple present. It didn't take that step back. It just stayed in the same tense as the original quote. And it's because of, I would circle it, the tense of this reporting verb. Okay? This nice pretty rule up here, the step back rule, it only works when you use a simple past. She said. As soon as I change the she said to a she says, she has said, or she will say, then it changes everything. It just stays the same. Are you with me?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, so hey, listen. We've learned 3 exceptions to the step back rule. Okay? What are the 3 exceptions? If I'm reporting something that is, what's the first one, the first exception?
Past.
That is close
Yeah.
to the actual quote, right? Like a situation where I'm telling you almost exactly the same time that I heard it,
Then
So-
present, yeah.
stays the same.